pleased to be here this morning. Leo Pustateri, founder of the Sabbatical Experience, with three very important people in my life and that are contributing to the great success that's upcoming for our sabbatical program and experience here. To do this, Bob Daugherty here, lifelong friend, brother, literally 46 years of friendship turns into brotherhood, turns into family. Actual real blood family right here with my cousin Vito, as well as my dear friend here, Bob Gosch, all playing different roles. You three guys were part of the original beta test as we launched the sabbatical project a couple years ago, and I felt it would be really good. It's one thing that people say, do you have any testimonials? You know, something people can write, but I believe just having a chance for us to talk this out together here in a small group setting makes some sense here. I'm just curious, I'm just going to ask a very simple question. Bob, a couple of years ago, you went through the sabbatical experience. How did it impact you? What were some of your reflections? Let's start there.
First of all, it's great to be back in this room.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, this was the exact room. I think, as you know, Leo, I came to really be more of an observer to help and to kind of look at the program and see what could be done to tighten it up. And immediately I had two ladies that were sitting at my table, and one immediately changed my perspective on my role of what I was going to do over the next 3 or 4 days in this program. Just totally asked me a couple of questions, and I went from this notion of being an observer to being somehow engaged, and then Julie brought this energy and this effervescence, and immediately I said, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm all in. And of course, obviously we've all become close, but those were the immediate things that happened to me that clearly changed the way I decided to spend the next 3 or 4 days. And I was well past being an observer. I was in.
Yeah.
I was in.
And I love the fact because you were coming to help me.
I was.
And as someone coming to help me, thinking almost in the back of the room, I want to observe.
Distant.
I'll give you feedback on how you were presenting and how the program was received and what I picked up. And bing, next thing I know, you're up in the middle of the room.
I'm ready to go.
You're ready to
go.
You're totally engaged.
Totally changed my mindset.
Yeah. Vito, what were you thinking coming in, cousin?
Almost the same thing. I came to help
Yeah.
because that's how I live my life. But within about a half an hour, I became very excited. I wanted to meet the people that were there. They were all like-minded people that had been successful. But I became very excited as time went on with what I was going to do with the rest of my life. So it became a lot more than just helping you, which I was happy to do.
Yeah, that's good. How about you, Bob? You came in with a different
you brought me in, Leo, more as a coach. I thought I was coming in to help put the group through some light exercise movements and maybe talk about the importance of mindfulness and meditation in your life. And before I know it, I'm opening up to this group of friends that became friends immediately. And it was really exciting to see how the one principle, become your best, which is all about wellness and physical, mental wellness, and becoming best in all roles of your life, which is what I've known to teach my whole life. But then I saw the other 6 principles and how interdependent and synergistic they were going to become if we focused on them. So that's what I took out of it, was the importance of the other principles, not just the obvious becoming best.
Yeah. I always describe the program guys as your next big project is you. And so you can think about experiences from Price Waterhouse to chairing the board of trustees at our university now. In your case, Bob, Vito, Xerox, Open Data, big corporations to do this, Bob, building small businesses and things like this. Is there the right candidate from your perspectives? You guys sat through it, you watched other people coming in. What would you tell people that are thinking about this? So you might say, how do I know this is right for me? What would you think?
Well, Leo, as you know, this program is built on scarcity. Right?
Yeah.
And so there's a very small group, a cohort of folks. And I think, quite honestly, that the diversity of the group, the difference of mindset, the difference of where you come from, the difference of what you bring to the room, I think is really very, very rich and very valuable. And it increases our ability to be self-aware, it really increases our sensitivity to ourselves and, frankly, to those around us. So the more diverse, the more different the background, and the more you basically strip down the layers of veneer to get to the bare wood, which you do brilliantly. I think that's where the significance of what happens for each other starts to take hold. I really believe that. I really do.
Yeah. What were you thinking, Vito?
Now, see, if you're looking for a roadmap for the rest of your life, be it a life of significance or any of the other elements, this is the place that you want to be. I mean, I'm not done. I still feel like I have a ways to go, and I've been working on this thing for almost 20 years now, since I met Coach Wood, as we talked about previously. So, I mean, we're going to help you put a plan together. And then, more importantly than that, to help you execute that plan to become your best.
Yeah, that's good. Bob?
Yeah, well, some of the clients I've been working with in the fitness industry for 10, 20, even 30 years, they're still customers of mine. We've been working on the obvious, the physical fitness end, eating better, sleeping better, moving, in better ways. And as they get older, we have to move people differently. And it's the same thing. These people are to an age now, they're in midlife transition. And I feel like these principles are very important. And I hear these issues coming up in our conversations more and more.
Yeah.
Their kids are getting out of college. I hate to use the term empty nester like my wife and I, but we are. And these issues are coming up in our lives and in the lives of my clients.
Now that I got the three of you here with me, I keep thinking about some of the activities we did as well, the learning methodology, so people can wonder, how's this program taught and things. So they're seeing now some of your observations and reflections. If you remember from being in this room with some large group discussions that we had, picking apart people's points of views and things, and then we threw a card deck out in front of everybody, and we asked some questions, and you went around different parts of the property, and what I remember is like watching like the three of you, or with Julie or Laney or some of the other folks who were at the program, and saying, hey guys, it's couple more minutes, so I need you, and everybody saying, no, Leo, I need some more time, we need some more time. You guys would turn a card over, and you'd look, and Vito would ask Bob, what does significance mean to you? Or you'd ask Bob and say, who do you know that's living a life of significance? I couldn't get you guys back. What was going on there from your perspective?
I can remember sitting overlooking the 18th green with a tree, and I remember sitting there, and I think you were up on the balcony.
Yeah,
and you were coming in, coming out, coming in,
exactly.
And we were so deeply engaged with the conversation and going through. And the exercise is it's not the right word. We were literally helping each other. We were coaching each other. And the beauty of this is when you bring like-minded people together with the framework you've laid out, you start to unleash 20 or 25 coaches. And when you have the diversity I was talking about, you bring the different groups together and you start to mix it up. The learnings are absolutely astounding for one another. You didn't have to do a thing.
Exactly.
You were bouncing from group.
I just had to say, I'll see you back here in half an hour.
That's it.
Adios.
No one wanted to come back.
That's right, exactly.
Now, beautiful Arizona, you can imagine what's going to happen in beautiful Arizona.
Well, looking at a couple of the mountain peaks and things out
Pinnacle
there.
Peak and True Mountain, right? Come on.
Yeah. So what's important, and that's an important point, Vito, you bring a lifetime of coaching and an absolute deep passion for coaching with your life motto of expect to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
To do this. And the point I wanted just to build off of Bob's comment there was how people become coaches to each other. Mm-hmm. And so the program isn't designed where Leo's teaching it, or we got a couple of other faculty members. I want to make the point, maybe you guys can build on that in your own way, is that how everybody in the program, and what Bob was saying, literally becomes a coach in the program, not just a participant, but the natural affinity towards opening up your file drawer of business success and career and your life experiences starts to come out. That's the beauty of this. All of a sudden we got 20 people and there's 20 different coaches, 20 different perspectives. So I don't know if you guys have thoughts on that. That was one of the things that I was really proud of, to see this thing come alive like that.
There's going to be a lot of coaching that goes on in those breakout sessions, not only among the coaches and the trainers from the Sabbatical X, but also among the participants. Bob is dead on with what he was saying. I look forward, after having seen 4 seasons in that property, I look forward to having the breakout sessions there, what they can be in that element, because it's so invigorating, and it creates a lot of thought and introspection. It's an unbelievable facility.
Yeah.
And between those two things, I'm extremely excited about being there.
We could have run this at an airport hotel. We could have gone on the beach of Outer Banks. We could have gone up in Maine, where you're from and stuff. We could have taken it Xerox manufacturing plant in Rochester where you used to hang out, for instance, and used a conference room. There's something though to me about the invigoration of the setting, to be looking at mountains and just the beauty of life. As I said, we could have done this any place, and we can still go to any places because clients are already starting to ask me, is this something you could do for us at a different location or whatever? Absolutely. I want people to know is that you folks have been integral. You've walked that area with me, and we know we've been talking about being at a fire pit or water in the background, looking at cactus or things like this. This is all part of the introspection and the reinvigoration. Bob, is that the right way to say this from your perspective?
Yeah, and going back to the point you made before about us sitting around and opening up, I saw two things going on. First of all, I saw people really embracing the fact they were thinking about themselves finally. These were successful people who had become successful by helping others. They'd spent their whole life helping others, and I think maybe forgot about helping themselves. So they were finally in a setting where they could say, wow, your next big project is you. My next big project is me. And then I think it's very natural for people to want to help each other. And that's what was happening around those fire pits in the outdoor setting, was we were helping each other. So two things were going on. Help yourself and help others in a setting that was really comfortable with awesome people.
Yeah. Leo, I've with PwC, I've been to so many seminars around the world in different locations, in different spots, to try to find the right setting. And the setting you selected for the sabbatical project, and in the desert, there's something about the desert. There's something therapeutic. There's something purifying being in the desert. And as you know, Leo, as the day goes on, and the light changes on the mountains, everything starts to shift and change. And I like to think of it as a metaphor to opening up this purification, to opening up and looking at changes in your life.
Yeah.
The changes of the sun and how the sun hits the mountains. I cannot imagine a better setting for you to start to really, really have a sense of sensitivity and self-awareness to what do you want to do now? What's next for you now with your talents? And I think it's a magnificent setting for you.
Which mountain peaks in your life are you ready to climb next? We got some funny. Remember sitting on the patio there looking at the mountains and say, what rock? Do you remember when we were having fun out there? We're getting out of our comfort zone and said, Vito, what are you looking at? Bob, what are you looking at there? Bob, what are you looking at? We all had picked out different things. So
remember that conversation well.
Things that resonated with us to that point. These are all things that we're going to be including as part of the program. I can't thank you guys enough for being part of the strategy, the team, the coaching, all the great minds that you're sharing, your intellectual thinking to make this a real success. From the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.